I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. Well, it's 5 o'clock now. It's a lot cooler, not up in the 85, 90 degree temperatures that we had last week. Now we're going to top out today at 70. And I think we're running right around 64 right now. So the reaction's going to go a lot slower. But I still want to check it again, probably about 8 o'clock, another 3 hours from now. See what the situation is. I don't want to let it get going. The more it reacts, the faster it reacts because it warms the water up. It's an exothermic reaction. Now the vinegar, that's just, I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. It can sit there for another 2 days probably without any real major difference to anything. We'll come out and look at it just before dark, take it out of the bath, dry it off, put it back in the WD-40. Then we'll come back out in the morning as long as it's not thundering and lightning again, and we'll set up the test. At least with the caps on the bottles, it's not watering down the bottles when it does rain. Even though there's caps on them, they're not tight. They're just sitting there. All that's for is to keep water out of the jars. With the bath temperature that cold, hardly anything going on. These need to sit quite a bit longer. Okay, we'll come out later and check them. They either be working or totally gone. The reaction has slowed down tremendously. Hardly any activity at all. It's cold though. Might have to put these on some kind of a warming device. Well, back in the bath. Hardly any activity. Temperature plays a big part in this. First thing the next morning. Perking, it's not doing a whole lot, it's just bubbling. I added more acid to the bottle. Raise the concentration. The temperature is up around 75 degrees. Now I'm starting to see a thing actually boil. I'm rather discouraged. Now the vinegar is just sitting there, doing what I expected the vinegar to do. Not a whole lot. It is vinegar. It's 5% acid. But I thought at 20% acid, this should have been working like it did Wednesday last week. Here it is Wednesday this week, and I should have been done by Friday. I'm going to leave the cap off. Let's look at the part out of the vinegar. Not much action at all. Very, very slow, like I expected. Unfortunately, this is the same amount of action that I was getting out of the sulfuric acid, but now I can see that it's actually boiling. It was 20% this morning. Now I've upped it to about 40%. Actually, I think I had it about 10% this morning, and I've upped it to 20. The darndest thing is, I'm using the sulfuric acid because it's supposed to be faster than waiting on the vinegar. I'm saying they're running about neck and neck. Really can hardly tell the difference. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. Right now it's working. I'm just going to let this thing sit. I'm going to come out and look at it. I'm not going to take it out of the house, or I'm not going to take it away from the station. I'm just going to look at it. I'm going to not rinse it. I'm just going to let it perk. Because right now it's 3 o'clock. It sat in here last night from 3 o'clock all the way through till this morning with no activity. Well, it's 8 o'clock on Wednesday, June 6th. And it's actually boiling now. Finally got warm enough it started to move. Still not going very fast though. I'm going to leave that in there overnight. As long as I'm careful not to break the jar by dropping the bolt in there. I'll just have to let it go, see what happens. Later that same night. This is S1. Same condition as S2. But you can see that the teeth are a lot shorter. They're not rounded, they're still pointed, but they're just really, really short. Teeth are still very pointed. If anything, they're a little bit scalloped. That one there on the end, the tip is just a little bit bigger than what the sides are. Over on this side, you can see that the acid just ate away the whole tooth. It got it down thin to the point where there just wasn't any tooth left. This is S1. So it had a little bit more to work with when the acid kicked into high gear. Now these threads are slightly rounded. They're almost gone. And the tooth goes down faster than the gullet. So the tooth gets short and the gullet appears to get wider, but it's actually just the tooth is getting thinner, narrower. So the space between them stays the same, point to point, but the amount of space in the gullet is reduced. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.